Jesus calls all of us, but are we willing to answer? Time for some daily bread. Welcome everyone to the Deer's Cry. This is a podcast where we try to look to find Christ in all aspects of life. I'm your host, Tim Horahan. This is a series we call Daily Bread, where we break open the scripture readings for the daily Mass readings for the Catholic Mass. And today we are on January 22nd, 2021, and we're still in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 3. So let's get into it. Jesus appoints the 12. And Jesus went up to the mountain, and called to him those he desired. And they came to him, and he appointed 12 to be with him, and to be sent out to preach and have authority to cast out demons. Simon, who he surnamed Peter, James the son of Zebedee, John the brother of James, who he surnamed Boanerges, that is, sons of thunder, Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus, and Simon Cananaean, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. So this is one of those simple passages where you get it. For me, sometimes you would go to Mass and you would read this reading, or I'd hear this reading, and I'd be like, okay, so Jesus calls the 12, what's the big deal? Like, I've heard this story a million times. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of guilty of thinking that this morning when I'm reading this. I kind of like read into it a little bit more. There's a few things Mark shows in this one. One is how he shows the fact, it points out that Jesus goes up the mountain and then calls the 12, and there's 12. It's to recall for people the time of Moses, that Moses went up the mountain to talk with God, and that the 12 tribes of Israel, because he appoints 12. So that's the symbolism, I guess, in some ways, like of the numbers and the locality of it. Another way of when I digged into this is that I can apply to you and to me is the fact that these 12 men that were called, that are first bishops of the church, who are called out to preach the good news and drive out demons. Two things, in some ways, is they're all from different walks of life. I mean, you had this group of guys who were, we've talked about before, that were from all different walks of life. Fishermen, tax collectors, zealots. I mean, they were, a motley crew, to say the least. And I think I discussed beforehand with the calling, these people were people who were in their field, meaning they weren't picked by a rabbi when they were young, so they were told to just go and work your regular job, work the apprentice job that you were taught by your father. And yet he picks them. So it's another one of saying, when people say that Jesus can't pick me because I'm just a fill in the blank, I'm just a machine shop guy, or I'm just a school teacher, or I'm a janitor, or I'm a finance guy, or a finance gal, or a lawyer or doctor, fill in the blank. No, Jesus can call a bunch of fishermen and Levi and zealots and tax collectors in his time. He can call you, he can call you, and he can call me, and he does that. The other part is how he sends them out to be his hands and feet in the world, kind of setting them up for when he leaves us. And that's what he calls us to do, is to be his hands and feet in some ways. We might not be the bishops, we might be the first bishops of the church and the leaders of the church, as we have in the Catholic Church. Because these men, we could trace their lineage back to the bishops that are around today. It's one of the beautiful things about being Catholic. I could trace my bishop's line back to one of these men. But not only that, but how he picks all of them, including the fact that he picks his traitor, the one Jesus picks that he knows will betray him. But yet he still picks Judas. So we can't have any excuses in life that Jesus can't pick me. It's just like, he picked Judas. He can pick you, he can pick me. And we could have the choice to be part of the 11 who let ourselves be transformed by Christ and walking with him and learning from him, and listening to his word, and watching his deeds, and then trying to go out and carry those things out in our own small way in the world. Or we could choose to be Judas and turn our backs on Jesus. Either way, he's called us and he's asked us to follow him and imitate him in life. So that's my challenge, is be more like Christ. Choose to be like the 11 out of the 12. You might be at a point where you might be one of the 11, you might be at a point where you are like Judas. But we all have a choice, and Jesus knows we have a choice, and he still calls us to be our better selves. So let's be our better selves, especially in this crazy mixed up world where the lack of love and mercy that is full right now with hate and division. Be Jesus' hands and feet. Be his mouth to speak words. Be his ears to listen to each other. And don't forget the love to share with each other. So that's another day of Daily Bread. Hope you all have a blessed and great day. Make sure you share, like, subscribe, whether you're listening on iTunes or watching on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. I appreciate all the support. Just whatever we can do to spread the good news. Thank you all. Hope you all have a blessed day. I'll catch you around next time. Peace.